Do you exercise in your daily life? Sometimes an ordinary run can change a person's life forever. Ahmaud Marquez Arbery was born on May 8, 1994. He grew up in Georgia in a working-class family. His mother was Wanda Cooper Jones, and his father was Marcus Arbery Sr. He had two siblings, Jasmine and Marcus Jr. His family raised him with love from an early age. Those who knew Ahmaud described him as cheerful, warm, and easy to connect with. According to his friends, Ahmaud had a natural ability to make people laugh. Running was not just a sport for him. It was part of his daily routine. He regularly worked out, played basketball, and enjoyed freestyle rapping. From a young age, sports played a major role in his life. American football, in particular, held an important place for him. In 2012, Ahmaud graduated from Brunswick High School. He played as a linebacker on the school's football team. Although his physical build was considered average, his speed and agility stood out. He was respected among his teammates. At one point, Ahmaud dreamed of playing in the NFL. Over time, however, he realized that his physical size might limit that goal. In 2020, his former school team held a symbolic ceremony to honor his jersey. During his young adult years, Ahmaud worked various jobs. He was known to help his father with a car wash and landscaping business. He also worked at fast food restaurants, including McDonald's. Running was a form of therapy for Ahmaud. He ran to stay in shape and to clear his mind. But Ahmaud's life was not defined by sports and work alone. Public records show that he faced some legal troubles in his youth. In 2013, about a year after graduating high school, he was charged with carrying a firearm on a school campus. As a result, he received 5 years of probation. In 2017, he was placed on probation again following a shoplifting charge at a Walmart store. His family described these incidents as mistakes from his past, events he was trying to move beyond. And in February 2020, a run that began like any other would change everything forever. Sunday, February 23rd, 2020, began like an ordinary day in Brunswick, Georgia. Ahmaud Arbery left his home in the afternoon. He was wearing a t-shirt, shorts, and running shoes. He was not carrying a weapon. Running through the neighborhood was nothing unusual for Ahmaud. Neighbors had seen him jogging in the area many times before. During his run, Ahmaud briefly entered a house under construction. The property was known in the neighborhood, and others had entered it before out of curiosity. Security footage later showed that Ahmaud did not touch or take anything. He stayed only for a few minutes and then continued running. At that moment, Gregory McMichael, a former police officer, noticed Ahmaud. He suspected Ahmaud might be connected to previous thefts in the area. This suspicion was not based on any concrete evidence. Gregory called out to his son, Travis McMichael. The two armed themselves. Gregory took a handgun, and Travis grabbed a shotgun. They got into their pickup truck and began following Ahmaud. During the pursuit, Gregory McMichael called 911. In the recording, he could not clearly state that Ahmaud was armed or committing a crime. He repeatedly referred to him only as suspicious. Ahmaud realized he was being followed. He picked up his pace and changed direction. The McMichaels attempted to cut him off with their vehicle. At one point, a neighbor named William Roddy Bryan joined the chase in his own truck. Bryan began recording the incident on his cell phone. On a narrow road, the McMichaels stopped their truck in front of Ahmaud. Travis McMichael stood at the back of the vehicle holding a shotgun. Ahmaud stopped and attempted to move around the truck. During a brief struggle, Travis McMichael fired the shotgun. Ahmaud Arbery was shot. He collapsed to the ground and died shortly after. When police arrived at the scene, the McMichaels were not arrested. The killing was initially treated as an act of self-defense. Ahmaud Arbery's death remained largely unknown to the public for nearly 2 months. That changed when the cell phone video of the shooting was leaked online. Once the video spread, national outrage followed. The case was reopened, and this time, the events were examined very differently. At the scene, the initial police reports classified Ahmaud Arbery's death as self-defense. Gregory and Travis McMichael were not arrested. No detention, no charges. One detail stood out in the reports. Ahmaud was unarmed. Yet the incident was treated as an armed confrontation. The case was sent to local prosecutors, but the process stalled. The first prosecutor recused herself. The second had personal connections to the McMichael family. A third prosecutor stated there was no sufficient cause for arrest. No one was detained. The case was effectively frozen. Ahmaud's family received no clear explanation. His mother, Wanda Cooper Jones, repeatedly contacted authorities. She received no answers. For nearly 2 months, the case remained out of the public eye until the video was leaked. The footage recorded by William Roddy Bryan spread across social media. National outrage followed. One question dominated public discussion. Was this a pursuit or an execution? Under public pressure, the state of Georgia took over the investigation. The case was reopened. On May 7, 2020, Gregory and Travis McMichael were arrested. They were charged with murder. Later, William Roddy Bryan was also arrested. He was charged as an accomplice. The trial lasted for months. Prosecutors made it clear this was not a lawful citizen's arrest. They described the pursuit, the weapons, and the roadblock as a coordinated act. The defense argued self-defense, but the video evidence contradicted that narrative. In 2021, the verdict was delivered. Gregory McMichael, life in prison. Travis McMichael, life in prison. William Roddy Bryan, long-term imprisonment. Ahmaud Arbery's death became more than a murder case. It became a symbol of justice delayed, of systemic failure, and of a society forced to confront its own structures. Ahmaud Arbery is no longer alive, but his story became more than just a name. It became a symbol, a moment that forced the world to question who is granted innocence and who is not. This is not just a crime story, it is a warning, a reminder of how quickly a life can be taken when fear, assumptions, and unchecked power collide. And perhaps the most unsettling question remains. If that video had never been released, would justice for Ahmaud Arbery have ever existed?